Hello there, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Critical Games YouTube channel. Today we have a Magic game between our newest staff member T and store regular Ben. You may notice their format they're playing is a bit of a strange one, and that's because it is. They'll be playing our store custom format, Basic. So what is Basic? It's a 1v1 60-card singleton format, so no duplicates outside of basic lands. The legal sets are the 12 most recent standard sets, plus any bonus sheets from those sets. That means, as of this video, it's Crimson Vow, Neon Dynasty, New Capenna, Dominaria United, Brothers War, Phyrexia All We Won, March the Machine, Wilds of Eldraine, Lost Cavern, Murders, Thunder Junction, and Bloomburrow are all legal. As mentioned before, the bonus sheets of those sets are also legal, which includes Brothers War's Retro Artifacts, March of the Machine's Multiverse Legends and Aftermath, Wild of Eldraine's Enchanted Tales, and Thunder Junction's Big Score and Breaking News. Notably, Commander cards, Special Guests, and The List are not legal, nor are the 3 ban cards in the format, which are Lutri the Spell Chaser, the original 3-mana Oko, and Sundering Titan. Games of Basic are just normal Magic rules, 20 life, no commanders, nothing like that, though players do get a free mulligan. We designed this format as a casual 1v1, like traditional 60-card Magic option. We wanted it to be something that's cheaper to play than standard, far less competitive, and easier for new players to start in general. We also to be a format where many of the really cool standard cards that just aren't good enough for standard or really any other format get a time to shine. And that's it. We'll go over the deck list real quick, and then it's off to the match. Deck list will also be in the event description below, as will a link to the format rules. I hope you enjoy the game. Please like and subscribe, and look forward to more content from us.
Hello everyone, I'm T and I'm playing a Selesnya token deck that's green and white. In this deck, 2 of my favorite creatures include Queen All-in-All of Rodok. Her power and toughness equates to how many creatures I control. Every time I create a token creature, I can also create a 1/1 white soldier creature. And then the second one is Ohertok, Deepest Foundation. He has Vigilance, and if 1 or more creature tokens would be created under my control, I can create 3 times as many with his card. Of the enchantments, sorceries, and instants that I have, my favorite 3 enchantments include Wedding Announcement, which allows me to draw cards or create tokens. And then Parallel Lives is an enchantment that doubles the numbers of tokens I create in that turn. And then Doubling Season can double the number of tokens or double the number of counters that I'm creating.
So our deck I'll be playing today is Jund. This is a fling deck. Focuses on big legendary creatures to fling at players with fling, Voldaren Thrill Seeker, Callous Cell Sword, things like that. The card you really want to fling at somebody is Yarglefling with his 18 power, and the big trick of the deck is Rakdos Joins Up, which lets you get a legendary creature out of your graveyard, and then when it dies, you get to fling it at your opponent. And there's lots of good legendary creatures with big high powers like Anzrag the Quake Mole or Kroxsaga, Titan of Hunger's Death, and even a few ways to get cards out of the graveyard. And that's pretty much it. Just red, black, green, play big creatures, throw them at people's faces.
Then I will go first.
All right.
I'm going to play an Evolving Wilds, and I'm going to sacrifice it to find a basic land card.
All right.
So let me just double check. Yep. Plains, it comes in tapped.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. My
Pass turn.
Thank you. Draw. Ooh. I'm gonna play a Restless Vents. It's a man land that generates black or red, but it can become a black and red insect when I have enough mana.
All right.
It's just a land right now, though.
Untap, draw for my upkeep, and then I'm going to play a forest, and that is my turn.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play a Llanowar Wastes. It taps for a colorless, or if I take 1 damage, it will generate a black or a green.
Okay.
And it will be turn.
Okay.
Over to you.
So draw a card. Ooh, I'm gonna play this as a land. Boseiju who
Okay.
endures. I'm not going to do the channeling thing. And then I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3 for Sanguine Evangelist. Battle cry: whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. When Sanguine Evangelist enters the battlefield or dies, create a 1/1 black creature token with flying. So he just enters. I'm going to do a 1/1 black creature token.
I'm going to say you're going to get a second one
Ooh!
because I'm going to cut down. I'm going to destroy that creature with total power and toughness 5 or less.
Ah!
So you will end up with a second bat, right? Because when it exits.
Yes!
Yeah. So while you're doing that,
Nice.
just make it 2 bats instead.
2 bats.
2 bats.
And then this creature goes away.
That guy's dead.
All right. Then they are asleep. All right. Pass turn.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play a swamp. I'm going to play a Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
Ooh.
It's a saga. Starts off with 1. And at 1, I create a 2/2 red goblin shaman creature token with whenever it attacks, create a treasure token. So there we go. Saga starts off at 1, advances after my draw step, 2/2. It's to you.
All right. So untap my lands, draw a card. I am going to play for 1 island and 2 others. Wedding announcement. At the beginning of your end step, put an invitation counter on wedding announcement. If you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn, draw a card. Otherwise, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Then, if wedding announcement has 3 or more invitation counters on it, transform it.
Okay.
So, I'm going to. I guess I'll attack with both of my bats so I can get that trigger.
Yeah.
So 2 1/1s.
Sure. I'll go to 18.
Tapping both. And then because I attacked with 2.
Yeah. It's on 1. You just draw a card instead.
All right, got it.
My turn?
Yes.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. Advance this to 2. I may discard up to 2 cards if I do draw that many cards. I am actually not going to do that at all. I'm going to play an Underground Mortuary. It generates either black or green, enters the battlefield tap, but when it enters, I will surveil 1, right? That is, look at the top card of my library, I may put it into my graveyard. I will decline to put it into my graveyard and leave you wondering.
All right. Uh-oh, okay.
I will swing at you with my Goblin Shaman token.
2?
Yes, for
I
2.
will take 2 and go down to 18.
And I make the treasure token.
All right.
See attacked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pass the turn to you.
All right. So untapping my lands, drawing a card. I am going to play Terramorphic Advance, where I sacrifice it to find a basic land, put it in my battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Going to tap it, and then I will shuffle anyway. I am going to play a Plains and a green for my Regal Benecold. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of non-land permanents you control. So I have 2 bats. That's 2, right?
Yes, but it's also dead.
No!
Yeah, that's right.
Which card did you use?
Go for the throat. I'm sorry. I will destroy target non-artifact creature. I will also cackle maniacally. But I won't because I'm being recorded and it's embarrassing.
Okay. You're tapped right now, so I'm gonna tap my bat and hit you for 2.
I'll take another 2. I'll go 16.
My invitation will go up to 2. You draw a card, or I could create something. All right, thank you, and that will end my turn.
All right. So untap, upkeep, draw. So go to 3. I will exile this, and it will return to the battlefield under my control. Where now it is an enchantment creature, Goblin Shaman.
Ooh, it's a 2/2.
Yes, it's a 2/2, and it's the 1 in tap. Create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature I control, except it has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. The really sad thing is this doesn't have haste, which would make it that much better. But I mean, I really shouldn't complain. I'm gonna play a forest. So I'm gonna swing at you for 2.
All right. I will take the 2. Go
And
down to 16.
create another treasure token. I'm going to play Yargle, Glutton of Urborg.
So what does it do?
He is a 9/3 with no abilities. He looks mean and just has some nice, fancy flavor text. But he doesn't do anything. He's a 9/3.
Ah! Okay.
I'm going to pass and let you think about it.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. I feel like Wit would have played that too. Okay. Untap. Draw a card. Okay. I'm going to play Fabled Passage as my land. Sacrifice Fabled Passage. Search your library for a basic land card. Put into the library battlefield tapped. Then shuffle. If you control 4 or more lands, untap that land.
Boo.
So, let's see. I am going to pull a forest. Because I have 4 or more, I get to keep it untapped. Shuffling again.
I'm registering my disapproval of such mechanics, but I'm stuck with it.
I am going to tap for 1 plains plus 2 more to play Monastery Mentor.
Oh, not that thing.
It has prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. All right. Okay. But it doesn't have haste or anything, so it's just there. I'm going to hit you for 2.
I'll take 2. I'll go to 14.
All right, and this hits my
That's
third.
That's at your end step, correct?
Oh, yes, you're right.
So at the end of combat, I'll sacrifice these 2 treasure tokens, one to make a black and one to make a green, and cast Abrupt Decay, which the spell can't be counted, destroy target non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less, and there's a 3. So I will.
You destroyed my wedding announcement.
I know it's incredibly rude. I apologize.
It's so rude.
I know.
So rude. Okay.
I've been told I'm a terrible person.
Okay. All right. I cannot do anything. Go ahead.
Okay. Untap. Keep. Draw. So I'm gonna forest. I'm gonna have this generator red, colorless, and I'm going to play a Voldaran Thrill Seeker, which has backup too. When this creature enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. If that's another creature, it gains the following ability to end a turn, which is 1, sacrifice this creature, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. I will put those 2 1/1 counters on Yargle.
Oh my gosh. 11/5.
I will then use another 1 to use my ability on Reflection of Kiki Jiki to create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature, except that it has haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. I'm going to copy my Voldaran Thrill Seeker, but I'm going to drop those 2 counters on itself. So now it's a 3/3.
Okay.
And this one has haste. I will then move to my attack step, and I will swing with Yargle, the Shaman, and this copy, creating a treasure.
So 2.
Oh, no, this was already tapped.
Sorry.
So this is 11,
12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yes, 16. This one does not have haste.
Well, I do have a Monastery Mentor, but these 2 are tapped. So can I use this one to protect from this one? Okay, then I will use this one to block this one. That means I still take 5. Right?
Yep. So first you take 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we finish combat. That dies.
Okay.
Horrendously.
Yes.
You take 5 and you go to 11.
Yes.
Except I will then use 1 to sack this to deal 11 damage to you.
Yarglefling.
Okay. One more time.
All right.
Next game. And I will start with Terramorphic Expanse.
All right.
Sacrifice it to search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Pass turn.
All right. I'm going to play this commercial district. It enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters, surveil 1. So I'm gonna look at the top.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it right there.
All right. Untap. I'm going to play Razor Verge Thicket.
Nice.
It enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. I only have 1, so it comes in untapped. Go ahead.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I will play a Blackleaf Cliffs, which is enters the battlefield tapped unless I control 2 or fewer other lands.
Okay.
I'm going to play a Bitter Reunion. When it enters the battlefield, I may discard a card. If I do, draw 2 cards. I'm going to discard a Callous Sellsword, and I will draw 2 cards. And after that, I'm going to say it is your turn.
All right. Drawing a card. Playing a land. Forced. And then I'm going to play. So I'm going to play a white and another color. When for the case of the Gateway Express, when this case enters the battlefield, choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control deals 1 damage to that creature. I don't have a creature.
Okay.
To solve, 3 or more creatures attack this turn. So I don't have any creatures. I can't solve it yet, but I just need to play it.
Okay.
All right, your turn.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play a Blooming Marsh. It enters the battlefield tapped unless I control 2 or fewer other lands.
Okay.
So, does that. I'm going to do red, black, and I'm going to play a Croxa, Titan of Death's Hunger.
How are you only paying 2 for a 6/6?
Well, that's because when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. So escape is if I do black, black, red, red, exile 5 other cards in my library from my graveyard, and then play it from the graveyard.
Oh my god.
So I have to sacrifice it. But when it enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, and then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this turn, this way loses 3 life.
I will discard Wedding Announcement. It's an enchantment.
Okay, so you will not take 3 life.
Okay.
It is now your turn. I will pass through the rest. Yes.
Untap. Upkeep, draw. I will play a Forced. I'm going to play 1 white and then 1, 2, 3 to play Might Overseer. It has first strike. As long as it's your turn, create a token you control. Creature tokens you control get +1, +0, and have first strike.
Okay.
If I pay more, I can get more stuff. But I don't want to pay more.
Cool. Oh, that's an activated ability, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. You got it.
Your turn.
My turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play a Restless Vents. It enters the battlefield tapped. It's that one that can turn into an insect if necessary.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay.
Yes.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to play Murex. It can tap for 1 mana of any color. Activate only if I enter the battlefield this turn.
Okay.
For color. Otherwise, it's a non-color.
Okay.
And then if I pay 3 and then tap, I can create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1. I guess I'll try it. I've never done it before. So tap plus 1, 2, 3
Okay.
to create a colorless Phyrexian Might.
Okay.
And then it has 1/1. It's a 1/1. Yep.
But it's currently a 2/1
Because of this.
with first strike, right?
Right.
Because it's your turn, but it doesn't have haste.
You're right. It's 2/1. I'm gonna hit you for 4.
Well, we'll take 4 and go to 16.
Mhm.
16. At the conclusion, right there, before you finish, I'm going to channel this 3 discard Greater Tanuki, search my library for basic land card, put it onto the battlefield
Ooh.
tapped,
Okay.
and then shuffle.
That is all. Go ahead. Your turn.
Untap. Keep draw. Play a forest for my turn. First things first. Black green. I'm going to do fell. I'm going to destroy target creature.
Okay.
The thing I don't like it is scary.
Very well. You did a good job.
All right. So I'm going to use red, black, red. Until end of turn, Restless Vents becomes a 2/3 black and red insect creature with menace. It's still a land. Whenever it attacks, I may discard a card. If I do, draw a card. So I'm going to attack with this with a menace. It's a 2/3 with menace.
Okay, 2.
Yeah, so it's 2.
All
but when
right.
it attacks, I'm going to discard a card. I'm going to discard a Zeator the Incinerator. It's a big dragon. And then I should be able to draw a card. So I will draw a card. And then I will say it is your turn now.
All right. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. I'm going to play Brushland.
Okay.
I can tap it for a non-color, and if I want to tap it for a color or forest or an island, it will deal 1 damage to me.
There.
All right. I will play a plains and a forest for Burrow Guard Mentor.
Okay.
It has trample.
Okay.
It has the power and toughness of equal to the number of creatures you control. So,
2.
yes,
Easier to
2
use
total.
that than that. Yes.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you. And then I'm going to play a forest and a non-color to play Innkeeper's Talent. So I'm going to go to the first step, which is at the beginning of your combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control. I'm going to put it on my Burrow Guard Mentor. I'll just do the might.
All right, so I do 1.
Hitting you for 1. Yeah.
This thing, okay, this thing does take care of 1 back in the game. All right, it says I have 1 poison counter.
Okay. So that ends my attack phase,
Okay.
combat phase. And I'll move to my second phase. All right, I'm going to tap this one
Okay.
for a forest. Permanents you control with counters on them have ward 1. So this one has ward 1.
Right.
Your turn.
Let's see. Untap, upkeep, draw. You know what? I'm going to cast Reanimate. Put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under my control. Lose life equal to its mana value. I'm going to lose 6 life.
Oh my gosh.
Dump that back on the battlefield.
Which card did you choose?
Zeator the Incinerator.
It has flying.
Yes, at the beginning of my end step, I may sacrifice another creature. So let's, when I do, Zeator deals damage equal to that creature's marked to any target, and I create 3 treasure tokens. This is so bad, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to forest. I'm going to sacrifice this so that creatures I control gain haste until end of turn.
Okay.
We'll give this haste.
Okay.
I'm going to swing at you for 6 in the air.
Okay.
Second main phase. Exiling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards out of my graveyard. Escape to cast them, in which case it will stay now. So I'll cast Kroxa. When it enters the battlefield attacks, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life.
Okay.
At the beginning of my end step, when I may sacrifice another creature. If I do, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target, and I create 3 treasure tokens. So if I sack this one to hit you for 6,
You're going to hit me for 6 more?
I'm going to use this ability on my end step, right? I'm going to sacrifice this creature and hit you for 6,
Okay.
creating 3 treasure tokens. And then I'm going to use 2 of my treasure tokens to fling Zeator for 6 extra
Oh my
base.
gosh.